Welcome back. This poet, MC, and vocalist came onto our scene with their uber cool music outfit, their volume. His flair for the spoken word inspired collaborations, and his stinging tongue makes him a cherished member of the South African music fraternity. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to MOLEKANE. TUMI.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
TUMI minus the volume.
Minus the volume.
For now, anyway.
Yeah,
so you were born in Tanzania?
I was.
I'd never heard or seen that anywhere. I was just like, wow, really?
Yeah, I was in Morogoro. My parents were terrorists, you see.
Aha.
Yeah, so...
Like, vivant, comrade, vivant.
Yeah, so
okay.
Tanzania is considered like a non-frontline state, you know, so it's so that's where they had all the babies and the kids were born.
Ah.
So, yeah.
And so how old were you when the return happened to South Africa?
It was in 92.
92.
Yeah,
and
92.
You come here, you're Tanzanian at the time.
No, I'm not. I'm always South African. No, I'm always South African.
You were never Tanzanian?
No, I was never.
Here's the Tanzanians coming for you. So how long were you there? See?
No. I'm not denying. No, you see.
I'm just saying. Okay, South African, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely South African, but sure. You see, you make me deny it. You make me go. No. So I come back to some strange reactions.
Yeah.
Cousins who love me and they're like, yo, this is blood,
Right.
And are calling me strange names because I cannot speak the tongue, because I cannot, I don't have the same sensibilities or
Sure.
So it was rough. And when you start to meet a lot of other people who came back from exile, you start to realize that. Yeah, no. A lot of them, had it rough. There wasn't a course. There wasn't a program. A come back home program. So we all had to figure it out.
There is a perception that life in exile was just hunky dory.
Yeah.
You were not mandale, like but what do you call it? Like milking the goats at 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? The rural area in Mpumalanga. But it wasn't always easy for everybody.
No, I'll tell you. I mean, clothes. Like maybe twice a week or something, you'd get clothes would be you're given a house. They tell you where the house is.
Yeah.
We all go to the house. They throw clothes in the yard, and your mom and you start picking them out. And you start picking them out. This is how we got clothes. You start picking them out, and a lot of people would just pick as many clothes as they can, and then sell them, and then you have like some money.
A little bit of extra.
Yeah, but it was. I'm not saying it was. We were living in shacks, but it was definitely there was a system. That was not always like a monetary, I work, I make money kind of system.
No, your accent though, how do I place that?
However you want to.
Wait. My papi. What I'm asking is, have you lived in you've lived in other places outside of Tanzania and South Africa?
Yeah, you see, when you grow up and you're in somebody's suitcase and traveling different places and going all over the place, you get to experience the world, and fortunately or unfortunately, there are some side effects to this thing. I got really involved with hip hop music and fell in love with it. And sometimes when you like the chocolate so much, you bite some of the wrapper.
Indeed.
And hip hop is such that it's not just the music, it's the culture, it's the way they dress, it's the way they talk, it's the even some of the negativity that comes with it.
Sure.
So a lot of these things, you especially when you're impressionable and young, you kind of assume and you put on like a blazer,
But it works for you in your rhymes in particular, right?
Look, if I spoke like this and I rapped terribly, I wouldn't be here. So that doesn't really, for me, it's not a. But I think the thing that some of the negativity that comes from it is that people think, okay, no, this guy is not proud of who he is, or you're assuming a different culture, and and my thing is, I'm never apologetic. I remember, someone asked me in an interview, so, you know, what is, you said something similar to your question, but a little bit more, you know, negative.
Sure.
And I asked my mom the question, and my mom said, you know, I will disown you if you ever have to prove that you're South African to anyone.
I think, you know, I don't know if you agree, Mandla, but I think we have an overinflated sense of what it means to be a black South African. You have to speak a certain way, you have to look a certain way, you have to eat certain food. And I'm just sort of like, can I just be me? Absolutely. You know, and especially when we're living now in a time when, like, there were kids who grew up in our time who didn't speak the languages, but I don't think the conversation is helping us. In fact, I think it's quite destructive, and I think, like, there's more important things to actually be talking about. That's what I think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've 9 or 10 years or so, I've